Why is it backwards? There we go. I guess it matters what order you do it in. All right, let's go live. 3, 2, 1. All right, so I have this sketch cover commission for Spawn, and this is my rough layout, man. This is where we're starting. I already did like the sketch, and then this is how we got here. So I will be working on this. Feel free to check out the YouTube, the TikTok, the Facebook, all of this. You can see it from all different ways. The best view is probably from YouTube. I'll just say that. But I was going to do this whether you guys join me or not, so I figured I might as well go ahead and turn this on and see what happens. So I'm drawing some shit. So that's what I'm doing. It might be boring. You may have to like come in and check in on me every now and then, because it's probably not going to be the most entertaining thing to watch from start to finish. But my hope is that you find me and you're like, oh, that guy draws shit. Maybe I should follow him so I can check in on him later and see how that thing turned out. Or maybe you're an artist and you're like, hey, I've got some questions I've always wanted to ask an artist, and Bryan seems pretty cool. So maybe I will ask Bryan some art questions, like, you know, what tools is he using? What software does he use? You know, shit like that. And then maybe if Bryan's cool enough, he'll share some of his knowledge with me and make me better. So feel free to like or share or ask questions or whatever you want to do. I hope you have a great Friday. That's what I hope. I hope you have a great Friday. I hope you have a great Friday. My buddy ordered this commission. No. This is for the guy that runs the Huntsville Expo. Hola, Sofia. You make me want to wish I could read Spanish. I don't think anybody on TikTok is watching. My TikTok audience isn't that great. I don't know how to make TikTok better. All right, so what we're going to start with is like this chain right here at the bottom. This is what I'm going to be working and putting detail on right now, is the chain thing. The chain thing right here. I had to show it to the TikTok people because the TikTok people on my feed are upside down. So they have to watch this upside down because I don't have nearly enough cameras or enough real estate on my drawing table to have like cameras hanging down all over the place and shit like that. Like, I don't have the resources to do that. as much as I wish I could. All right, so for anyone watching, this is a Micron liner, Micron 3. So this is what we'll go and we'll add in a little bit of, we'll make the chain that's closest to the viewer here, we'll make it have texture. Like that's the reason we do this, is to give it texture. We want it to feel like this is closer. So we want to really pay attention to making this feel like you're adding the dimension to it. You know what I mean? If you make the thing that's closest to the viewer look detailed and sophisticated, then maybe the viewer will overlook any flaws that you did in the piece behind it. They'll look at the front thing and say, oh, that's this guy's level, or this gal, that's this artist's level of detail. I'll just, my brain will interpret that as saying, then that's the level of detail that this whole piece will be, even if it's not. Like maybe your brain will say, oh, it's supposed to be detailed because I was told. Who knows? I don't know how that shit works. I don't know how that shit works. I'm not a big psychology guy. I don't have to be a psychology guy to know that treat people nice until they tell you, their actions tell you otherwise. So once your actions tell me that I need to start treating you like the turd that I didn't know you were going to be, I mean, it doesn't hurt. It's Friday. We can be nice to each other, right? Just please don't give me an excuse to treat you like a turd. I don't want to treat people like turds. I don't want to treat people like turds. It seems like I lost all of the TikTok people. Like I started off strong on TikTok. Like I had 62 people on TikTok, and now we're down to 2. Like everybody said, this guy's not making a meme video. He's not hurting himself, and he's not staging some sort of reaction video as the, oh my God, my wife's in the kitchen and let's watch. She'd never expect me to do this while she's in the kitchen. And then they turn around and then like her reaction is so disingenuous. But for some reason, that kind of shit will get like a gajillion ass views on social media. And you're just like, my level of entertainment has a little bit higher standard than that. But that's who I'm competing with when it comes to doing stuff on like social media and TikTok and stuff, is like people that come to expect, you know, the hillbilly ginger Billy or whatever his name is, like just doing that kind of comedic stuff. And then you've got a bunch of people like, oh, let me act like I'm going in the fridge and then my wife will find me and, oh, it was me the whole time. That's a tough competition, man. Like I just want to draw pictures, and I want people to kind of enjoy the pictures that I draw so that I can continue to draw pictures, right? If people help me in my drawing picture world, then I get to draw more pictures. And who wouldn't want that? I know I really like drawing pictures, and I really would appreciate anybody who helps facilitate that. And you know, let's not overlook the fact that if you want to draw pretty pictures like I do, or like better than I do, but if you want to draw pretty pictures, I wish you all the best of luck. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be glad to offer my advice if you ask for it. That's another thing. People will post their opinions on social media. And just listen to what I'm about to say, and you tell me how you feel about this. If you have a positive opinion about something, I like apples. Apples are the best. I like that movie. That movie was great, and everyone should run out and go see it. That is an opinion. That is a positive opinion. But if you have an opinion that says that something is negative, then you should wait to be asked your opinion. That way that you just don't fill up the universe with more negative shit. Not that you're not entitled to your opinion. I would just, the world's already full of negative shit, man. Somebody's asking what I'm drawing. I am drawing Spawn, person, Facebook user. The Facebook user is asking, what are you drawing? All right, and this is going to be like a colored piece to some level, right? So I'm going to, these are my Uhuru. These are my Uhuru markers. So we'll throw in a little bit of stuff every now and then until it's time to, until I feel it's time to like do the whole thing. Thank you, Facebook user. Sometimes when I throw just a little bit of like shading on it, it helps my mind understand things better. Like since it's not just going to be a black and white piece. Look how mellow. All right, so these Uhuru markers use a system in which I'm not sure what they are. So this one is like a MG069, but it's blue gray 69. So I don't know, like it just seems like a very, I got 170 boxes of Uhuru markers and then tossed them, went bad and went back to Copics. Oh, I won't be using mine enough to like, mine are going to be used for just throwing in a little bit of shading and stuff when it comes to doing my convention work. Like one of the things about my work is I'm not a color guy. Like if you get a commission from me, you're not getting it because of the color work. So the color work is just simply there to have it be, oh shit, someone commented on TikTok. Oh, that's Stephen Belcher. Maybe he didn't want me to say his name. He's got like 80 million Facebook names. All right, so we've got that out of the way. To me, I feel pretty good about this. I mean, we can add some more. Just if you add these little like random ass textures, like people will just assume that you know what you're doing, and that they're like, oh my God, look at all these details. I'm like, okay, if that's what you want to call them. But for me, it's just like these little things that help your brain understand like the texture of the thing that you're drawing. The texture of the thing that you're drawing. So I'll show this to the TikTok people. TikTok people, there you go. All three of my TikTok fans out there, word. All three of those TikTok fans. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to grab this is a 08 Uniball. This is the Fat Daddy. So I'm just going to like lay down the overall line of this chain right here. Like I'm not going to go every little line. I'm just going to make sure that the silhouette of the chain as a whole has this power stroke on the outside of it. And since this is going to be a excuse me, since this is a color piece, I may end up treating these chains a little differently, just because I don't want to. The more ink that I throw in a small area, the more dark and hard to read everything gets. So it's not about throwing in the most amount of detail when you're doing small little pieces. It's the ability to indicate or force the viewer's imagination to get to work. Like they can fill in the blanks. You just have to give them enough information to where their brain fills in the blanks, and then you don't have to fill up your page with all that detail on every little chain link. And that's my opinion. Shit, I don't know. That's just how I feel it would go. That's just how I feel it would go. Maybe I've heard, I think I've heard that. Like if you indicate and show enough, show the brain enough indicators that this is what they're supposed to be thinking, then the brain relaxes and goes ahead and just says that, all right, then that's what it is. That's the reason like those optical illusion things work and stuff like that. Dude, is this Steven? Are you Chuck Stakefield too? Dude, I've never met somebody with as many accounts on social media as Steven. Like I can't, like he's got 18 Instagram pages, several Facebook pages. It seems to me like managing that stuff would be unbearable. I mean, just the amount of passwords and someone trying to get in touch with you. And for me, like if you have a million different social media handles, how are you going to create a brand? How are you going to get anybody to follow you? Or I mean, at the level you're starting out, like if The Rock had 18 accounts, everybody would find them. But as someone who's trying to establish a brand and trying to establish a following, trying to make money by being recognized and asked to do stuff, the more variant names you have, or the more variant accounts and brands, I think you're just creating confusion for anybody who would like to find you, support you, keep up with what you're doing. I don't know, maybe that's not an issue. Like I said, I'm not very smart. I just have opinions and think things. So, all right. So we got all the chains done. Let's show the TikTok people the chains. Now, in the smaller chains, I got to go in and I'm going to blacken the little center area, because there's no way that I'm really going to put time and effort into what is behind the chains that are that far back. I'm just not going to do it. Maybe somebody, that's for somebody, but it's not for me. Not for me. I almost want to fill in the shit on the other ones too. All right, Steak or Chuck Stakefield. Like I just, if it works for you, I can't be mad at it. If it works for you, I can't be mad at it. It's just seems like too much work for me, and I am not interested in it. All right, so we have the opening areas on the larger chain pieces. So I'm gonna take this and kind of just I think maybe this will work. I don't know. If there's one thing I do not like about Spawn is having to draw these chains. And yes, I don't have to draw the chains, but if you have the chains and you do them at a halfway decent render, people will look at the piece and understand what it took to make all of that happen. And they'll be like, oh shit, that guy's awesome. Look at all this work he did. And the easier route would be to not do the chains or just do one chain. And if there's something I'm going to do, it's going to probably not be the easiest way. For some reason, I like to do things in a more hard. I like to up the level of difficulty, I guess, so that way the reward feels just that much sweeter. Well, thank you, Stephen. Like you don't owe me anything, and I couldn't even, like, I don't even know why you would hold me in such regard, but I do appreciate it. There. That turned out really cool. So now one of my goals with this piece, what I'm going to do is I plan on having the Spawn figure very dark and have the cape just be very, very vivid and red. And like, I don't know. I don't want to, it's just the way I pictured it in my head. Not sure that it's the right way to do things, or I'm not even sure it's going to look great. I am not even sure if it's going to look great. For some reason, these Spawn #1s, I think this is my second one I've worked on, have this weird, like they've almost gone the other way. Some sketch covers have a very glossy cover and all of your ink just falls off. And it feels like this is just soaking up all the ink to the point where it's just soaking up the ink, and it doesn't feel like I can put enough on there for it to fully get what I want out of it. I don't know. It's like the complete opposite. Like you can't put enough ink on it. Whereas the ones I was talking about, you put so much ink on it and they just get glossy and glossy and glossy. All right, so I'm going to go to my #1 Stadler. And the only reason I'm using this #1 Stadler is because I bought a bunch of them online and to try them out, and I don't have any of my Micron #1s, which my go-to is a Micron #1. Like that Micron #1 is probably my most favorite utensil. Well, the cape is going to be going all over the place. At least that is the way I pictured it in my head. For me, like drawing Spawn, it's not as rewarding as drawing some of the other characters because of the lack of facial expression and the lack of emotion that I can try to pull off with with the eyes, with his mouth or whatever. Like none of that stuff just isn't there. So like I have to, it's just not that exciting to me. Now, would I turn down a job, working on a Spawn title? No. But if someone said, hey, what's your favorite, commission to do? Spawn would not be on that list at all. Fawn would not be on that list. It's weird. So while we're doing this, those Uhuru markers that I showed you guys, like those are also new. Like I haven't, see, look, it's not even, this is barely registering as black. I don't like it. The Uhurus are also like a new tool. Like I'm just starting to use them. So I don't know quite how to, like how much they bleed. Like I'm not familiar with them. So I'm experimenting as I go. Golly, this thing. It just, nothing seems black enough. Man. Just doesn't feel like it's getting black enough, man. If the paper on this cover just feels like it is sucking the ink right out of my pens. Like it's just like, oh, you're touching me. Let me suck up all that ink. Let me suck up. Didn't I make a drink? Yeah. Nothing like some great value drink mix or whatever. Maybe we'll use this. This 8 seems to do good, but I hate using this, how big and round this thing is. Like it's just, I haven't had a good experience using these big tipped liners. I seem to like, the larger they are, the more it like rolls out of my control, or I didn't anticipate how much it was going to roll while drawing the line. And then like my line will have shifted, and I'm just like, holy shit. Like I don't like that. So on this commission, the last thing I'm going to do is all the cape stuff in the back. That's the plan. All right. I'm not even sure. Like I didn't even put enough thought into this to figure out where like a cool light source would be. Like I'm not sure how I'm going to treat this. I'm going to say it again. I think I say it every time I do one of these, is I think my dog waits till I'm doing one of these to come down here and then just like practice her farting. Like she just was like, you know what? I know this room doesn't have windows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice farting and see if he notices. And then she just proceeds to practicing, seeing if I notice. And I have to tell her I do notice. I do notice the farting. Yes, John understands my pain. John understands the pain. The reason I bring up the lighting is because I've obviously put these little shoulder curls on there. And that would be good if like the cape was coming down like this. But I'm going to have the cape kind of doing like this. So Really, these shouldn't even be here, but I don't think I care too much. I don't think I care too much. Ask me later. See this, when I use this brush pen, usually that's when I get like the most black laid down. And here it still looks gray. Like it would take me, feels like it would take me like 3 coats, and I have to go over everything 3 times in order to get the black that I want. Like the richness of the black. I'll do it on the face. Like I really want the face to do well, right? And then, but as far as everything else, they're only going to get the 1 coat treatment. The 1 coat treatment. Nacho, you're going to have to chill, bud. Papa's busy. You know what? Let's do this. Let's go ahead and have it. Oh, that's not the right one. Where's the, here we go. All right, so I don't think Spawn has anything going on his neck. I don't think there's any color changes or anything. Like it's just the blackness, right? See if I can find a clear picture of just like his uniform. Yeah, it's just the black, just the black. So let's go ahead and we'll grab our Tombow blue. And then we're going to get ready to shoot some details off into this area that is his neck. So the way I was thinking is like all the light is coming from the sides on this piece. Like I really want the center to be black, and I just want to see like the outline of his symbol. I don't know. I'm just going, I really want this piece to just be dark. I think it'll like it. I think it adds to the character. Like, you know, Spawn is mysterious and you know, otherworldly. I made the mistake of going to see the Super Mario Brothers movie during spring break. Golly, that was such a pain in the ass. Now that I don't have kids living at home, I don't keep track of when spring break is. And I went to the movies and I was like, holy shit, look at the amount of people that are here. I like going during the day because there's no people. Like I go to matinees all the time because I don't want to deal with people. I don't want my movie experience to rely on whether or not, you know, your kid needs a bathroom break or you don't know what's going on. So you have to ask your dad or your husband or whatever the whole time, like, who's that again? And why did he say that? Like, I don't want to hear that kind of stuff. I just want to be watching the movie. And that generally doesn't happen when you go there with a bunch of people. There's always going to be somebody chewing with their mouth open or has a crying baby or something. It's always something. And I'm just a crouchy old man. Like everything, my tolerance for shit that I don't like has gone really low. Like I don't know what happened, but now I'm like, fuck it. I don't have to put up with stuff if I don't like it. I'll just not do it. I think that can lead to a very miserable existence. So I don't uh, think you should try that. If you're not already a crotchety old man, then don't start now. Is my advice to you. All right, so let's put the right there, right there. How does it come down? All right, so it comes down like this. All right, and that's the outside of it. So then it's got like the hook inside. And then we're going to come back all the way like that. This one will be off the page. There we go. Got it done. Got it done. All right, so I usually just come up with like a generic ass downlight. So I'll just throw like a little drop shadow underneath all of this stuff. So that way it'll remind me not to put any detail underneath this, because the shadow of whatever the item is would be hindering it, right? So that's what I'm doing here. All right, and then we'll go ahead put the cape like this. There we go. So all that's going to be the cape stuff. And in order to make these little curly cues stand out, oh, wow. I went to see it in the movies, and the lady had a 5-year-old with her, and she started crying when he was afraid of the clown. She asked him if he want to go home to Monster Daddy or be quiet. Oh, shit, man. Yeah, people suck. There's everything about, I think everything about what America is right now, it's just the driving force is selfish. Like that is, if you don't benefit, then you won't do it. If it doesn't somehow do something positive for you immediately, not in the long run, but if it doesn't do it right for you right now, not like saving the environment or anything, because that's good for everybody, but like if it doesn't immediately like benefit you in the slightest, the American way says they won't do it, whatever that thing is. And that's not, I'm not big on selfishness. Like I maybe at one point I used to be, but not anymore. I've seen the error of my ways. Yeah, we'll work on the cape later. I don't want to get into all the cape goodness right now. I want to make sure that we get what we need all squared away, which is the iconic portion of the spawn. Like that, I need it to be able to be identified, you know, like that's. All right, let me look and see again, like what the insides of his suit look like. It looks. I thought some people had it blue on the inside, but it seems to be mostly just black. Oh, this one has red on the inside. I guess his old uniform had red on the inside. I'm not sure. Most of the newer stuff looks to be just black with the white stripes. So that's what we'll do. We're going to do the black with the white stripes. And we're not going to shade this white V at all. And see if that's an artistic choice, right? So that's what I'm choosing to do, because I want this to be the most easily identifiable, because everything else is going to be pretty dark. I really don't want anything to interfere with the level. Oh, somebody's throwing hearts at me. Hell yeah. Oh, Jake Scrapka, voiceover artist extraordinaire. If you guys aren't following Jacob L. Scrapka, do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor and listen to him do skits and create characters and do his Joker laugh. That's the good stuff. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so we just want a little bit. We don't want this to be too lit. So let's just a little bit. We gotta pick and choose our areas of. Yeah, there's not going to be a whole lot. There's not going to be a whole lot that's not black here. Yep. Oh, you know what? I haven't shown the TikTok audience what we're working on in a long time. So let's show the 2 people watching on TikTok. This is where we are right now, TikTok people. This is where we are, TikTok people. I really wish that the StreamYard would allow me to broadcast to TikTok so I could just not have to treat TikTok and Instagram like second-class citizens when it comes to my live streams. Like, I have to go out of my way, and you can only see it upside down, and you can't see anybody else's comments except TikTok people. I'm sorry, TikTok. If somehow StreamYard could figure out how to get you guys get TikTok, well, I guess TikTok's going to be banned here shortly, so who knows? I am not an influencer, so I doubt that affects me very much. So I knew when I was drawing this that I was going to have most of this on the inside be black. And there may be some questions for somebody out there that's like, well, why did you take the time to draw all that inside stuff if you're just going to black it out? I mean, aside from it just being good practice, you're helping to make sure that everything goes in the right place. And if you know how things are set up normally, then when you do it and you erase most of it, it'll still feel good. But I chose to have the guy be really dark to really like I wanted him to cut an awesome silhouette. Like that was what I was really wanted out of this one, was just to have a nice cut silhouette where his figure stands out and does all the talking. He doesn't have to be jumping through and doing a whole bunch of cool shit like that. We'll see how successful I am. We'll see how successful I am. All right. So in my vein to keep everything going this way, thank you, Tony. So what I'll do is I'll start on this hand and we'll do this, and then the last thing we're going to worry about is all that cape stuff. I think I need some new Tombos because these things kind of, but then again, remember we discussed that this paper is just very, very absorbent. This paper is very absorbent. Andre asking what's up, and I don't really have an answer for you other than spawn. It's Friday. I ain't got no job, and I ain't got shit to do. I'm pretty excited about tomorrow, though. I get to go shoot a music video tomorrow. So that's always fun. Well, I can't say always fun. That's usually fun. Usually a fun time. At least when I'm going to this one, though, there's at least one person there that I know, because that's the person who called and asked me if I was available. So that is cool. It's Quill. You would think that they would use better. Well, this one isn't bad. It's like I was talking about, like how there were a line of sketch covers that used to be just so slick that ink wouldn't even stick on them. And this is like the complete opposite. It feels like this sketch cover is so dry that it sucks the ink right out of your device. Like it's just like, oh, okay. I'm going down this way. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, you would figure at least Todd McFarlane, if Todd McFarlane is going to put out a sketch cover, I would assume that it would be the best quality, artist-friendly sketch cover it could be. And I think in the search for that, he may have made the most absorbent sketch cover. But I'm sure maybe this is good for painters. Like I just for whatever medium I'm using, this is not primo. It just doesn't seem like it's not giving me the rich black that I crave. That I try to like. That's usually what I try to go for. The Power Rangers cover is sick. Oh, let's see what the Power Rangers cover. Oh, Power Ranger covers suck. The colored ones, yes. Any colored cover is terrible. Any colored cover is terrible. All right, so it looks like his hands are red. Well, shit. There's no consistency. Some of these Spawn has red hands, and some of these, like his first appearance, he has red hands. But look in this one. In this one, he's got black hands. And over here, he's got red hands. Black hands. Black, or that one he's wearing brown gloves. Red hands, black hands. Fuck, there's just no consistency. Hello, the Jake Goodman. I'm not sure if he's still here. I may be late to the party. But Jake Goodman says hello. Hello, Jake Goodman. So I'm not quite sure how I want to address the hands if there's no consistency in remember, we're just really just implying detail at this level anyway. It's not about like really putting in the detail. It's about implying the detail and getting the mind to interpret that the detail is there. That's our job. What can we do to have the brain say, "Oh, that's detailed, and that's got knobs and whatever else is going on." That's our job. What can we do to make this thing look more complicated? We want people to believe that we put all kinds of we want people to believe that we put all kinds of time and effort into thinking about every little nut and bolt that's in this bracelet thing he's wearing. Like, but really, in real life, we'll be like, we're just going to make a couple lines and let them make up what they think it is. Let the reader's imagination do all the heavy lifting for us. I say reader, the viewer. Our job is to just get your brains a working. I gave you 2K hearts on TikTok. Now I'm going to thumb you to death. Good grief, stop thumbing me to death. I'm guessing that's Steven from another account. Mr. Instagram account. Let's call you Mr. Instagram. Sleek Comics. Black something or other, and then wrong. Oh shit. Poor me. I guessed incorrectly. All right, we're gonna go back to the 3. So we got 4 people on TikTok. Y'all better watch out. I'm about to be fucking famous. I'm about to be famous, man. I'm gonna be TikTok famous. I'm gonna be TikTok famous. Is that a thing? I guess it is. Oh, it's Jago. Thank you, Jago. I don't even think people would know if I call him Jago, people still wouldn't know who that is. But thank you, Jago. Yeah, there's a lot going on inside this hand, man, but I don't want to. We talked about the more detail and stuff we put in there, the darker and darker it's just going to get, and ink is going to start spreading, and then it'll just be like one blob, and you'll be like, what happened? I put all the detail in there. And that's just the cost of doing business, man. You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. You knowing when to hold them and knowing when to fold them is quite the task. Takes a lot of self-discipline to when it comes to gambling, I guess. Like once you start winning and stuff, I imagine it's just like, I'm on a roll, man. There's no way that I can lose. And then I'm assuming that that's what know when to hold them and know when to fold them kind of refers to, is getting out while the getting is good, another expression. Get out while the getting is good. Just the 2 of us. Man, if I had to base how good I was by the response I got on social media during my live streams, I would be upset. Like, I just get zero. I won't say zero. I don't get much of a response when it comes to doing live streams or posting video content. I don't know. It's just not what my audience is willing to do. They don't want to watch. I guess right on. Do you? You do you. Some people watch. I don't know. Like, if you want, and I don't do social media stuff to be a social media guru or influencer or anything, but I want to increase the amount of people that see my stuff so that they can buy my stuff and I can continue to work. Like, that's, I imagine that's what everybody wants, but I think that I have a somewhat measurable amount of talent, and I'm not creating reaction videos or whatever. Like, I'm creating things, and I would like for that to be in the same area of rewarded as the people that just watch people fall off of bikes and make, 100,000 subscribers, and then, the social media lets them get monetized and stuff like that. Like, they didn't make anything except a false reaction, and I get it. If people are willing to pay for it, then do it. For some reason, I've picked the most difficult path to I had that shirt in my hand and almost wore it. Opted out for Funko Iron Man instead. Yeah, this one came with when I was still getting those Funko boxes. I forgot which one it was, but that was back when I had a wife, and the household had 2 incomes. So, well, actually 3 incomes, because I had a job, she had a job, and then I had my art stuff. And all my art stuff was like my funny money. That was like all my spending money. Any money I made from art just went into like buying video games and buying toys and shit like that, because I already had a regular job. But now that I only have art as the job, it's a lot less mad money, I think is the word that people use. That's my mad money. See, so at some level, we've got to figure out where we're going to stop putting detail in these little things. We're going to have to draw the line somewhere. Yes, Facebook user, maybe Jake. I am not taking it for granted. I promise you, I'm not. So what I'm looking at, like my next benchmark, is to have art be my main job and not looking for jobs. And what I mean by that is I am constantly chasing down and asking people if I can draw a picture for money for them. My next goal is to be at the level where people come find me to draw them pictures, and it takes the work part out of trying to find people. Like, that is the most disappointing aspect of it. It is the constant, like, yes, I get to draw for a living, but I do that so infrequently because I'm so busy trying to find work. Like, that's what I mean by that. So that I never want it to come across as I'm not thankful for what I have. I'm just saying that the next level of success in my head is when I don't have to chase work all day and I can just actually get up and have all of my, oh, here's what we're doing today. Like that kind of mentality to it. Well, dude, you also have a lot more supporting to do than I do. If I had kids living at home, I wouldn't be able to do this. That's just it's just a fact, Jack. It's just a fact, Jack. I mean, it's so awesome that at least, even with as much responsibility as you have, that you're able to do some of the things that fulfill you creatively, whether it's making a video of people coming over for Thanksgiving, or if it's getting paid to do a coffee commercial for somebody in Europe. Oh, somebody said something over here. Let's see. Have you ever considered getting into a interior shit, man? Yes, I've considered that TikTok user, but it's a skill set that I haven't I haven't taken the time to get better at it. I have I'm not I don't know. No, I have I thought about it, and the answer always comes back to uh, there's a specific art to storytelling through panels and being able to draw the less glamorous stuff, like people drinking coffee or people riding a bike and stuff like that. And that type of stuff doesn't excite me. So that's why I defaulted to like doing the covers. The covers are something that I can really sit down and enjoy and take my time with, and uh, t- that's the rewarding part for me. But I know that if I did interiors, it would then lead to getting more cover work and becoming more of a draw and getting more noticed and stuff. But I just, if I'm being completely honest with anybody who's listening, I think I'm just afraid at failing at it, and then not and then what I was already good at being discounted because I failed at another aspect of being an artist. So what I mean by that is, like, say, let's say I've achieved uh, level 47 of being an artist, like a level 47 creatively. Like people's like, oh, he's a level 47. I'm afraid that if I started doing interiors and I wasn't good at it, then the 47 as an artist would go down further, and I would have lose any momentum or traction that I gained. Either that, or I'm just really trying to find an excuse as to why not, which is completely possible. I could just be fishing for excuses. That is completely possible. Maybe you should reconstruct your pricing. It's like a toll bridge they built here. They put the rates so high that no one used it, and then they couldn't pay their bills, so they lowered the rate, and now they have. Yeah, I understand that, Tony, and I evaluate those type of issues all the time. And this is just what I've decided to go with. And I know that that doesn't, you're like, well, you could work more if your prices were less. Yeah, I could. But I there's certain things that I don't want to, I'm not going to compromise. Because when you lower your price, you start, uh, there's a whole bunch that goes into it. So I'll tell you this. I didn't make the decision without any forethought of where I am. That's what I will tell you. I did not do this out of haste. All right, I think we got that. Oh, we need, know what we need to do? All right, we are getting close to getting ready to do the rest of this stuff. We're getting close to, I don't know if it's finished, but we're getting closer. We're getting closer to something. Getting closer to making a mistake. Let's check our ink vat. Oh, look at that. We're out of ink. Maybe that's what was doing the thing. Maybe that's the reason my shit wasn't looking good. So pop it back on. Call it a day. Let it charge up a little bit. These things come in like little, what is it, 6-pack? Little ink cartridges you can pop in there for these. Oh, that didn't seem to make that much difference. I think I know how to describe it. Like, no matter how much ink I put on this, it feels like there's a matte finish on top of my ink. It just looks dulled down. If that makes any sense. I know that it's got a matte finish, otherwise I wouldn't be able to draw on it, but it feels like even after I put the ink down, there's like a matte finish on top of it. All right, so now I'm about to get nitty gritty, and this is where I'll probably like, the odds increase on me just going over my lines and with this brush pen and covering up something I wasn't supposed to cover up. And I don't want that to happen. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting like this little buffer line, like this fatter line around everything, so that when I'm using my big, fat, chunky brush pen, if it bleeds through, I don't have to get as close to the real line work. And we got some playroom. That's the goal. You just need the... I agree with you 100%. What? Let me see if I can see your name. Evan. I think it looks like Open Eyes. Open Eyes? My eyes are bad. I just want you to succeed and I can get full. I just want you to succeed. I can get full color pieces from well-established artists cheaper, and I try to support you no matter what. But your prices have moved out of my life. I understand, Tony, and I appreciate everything, man. I understand what you're saying. And that, Tony, is why I put together the art book. Let me show you real quick, Tony. You may not have seen it, maybe you have. Like this, I'm getting ready to launch the Kickstarter for my art book. I can't zoom out anymore, but this is a collection of all kinds of stuff that I've done over the past couple of years. And this is a full size. Oh, Tony, I think your wife, you guys have this, right? Let's see. You guys have the original for that one. But like, so this is just a 80-page art book that you can, it says volume one. So hopefully that means we're going to get other volumes, right? So I'm doing one of these, and I think I'll do these more regular, and then I won't do the print stuff as much, and I won't have to. I don't know. For $30, you can have all of that artwork, and I don't know. I'm trying something. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the art book does. Like, I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited what the art book contains, what it represents, like how much of me there is in there. That's cool for me. As I was putting it together, I was like, wow, you know what? I've gotten to do a lot of stuff. And then there's some stuff that just can't get in the art book because it doesn't, like logos and stickers and some t-shirt designs. Sometimes that shit just doesn't fit. But it was forcing me to go back into my archives and look at all the stuff. And I was just like, man, I've really done a lot of stuff. And if you take a look at it, you can clearly see like the advancements and stuff. Like and that to me lets me know that I'm doing something right. If you can see the progress, like it's notable. Some of those pieces you can see that they say 2018, and you're like, wow, that's not quite Brian's A game there. And there'll be something there from 2019, and it's right next to, like, 2022, and you're like, wow, such a difference in his line art, or whatever. And what's cool is that most of those pieces were colored by not me and people who know how to color things properly. And it really helps the artwork shine because of their work, because of how much skill they have doing their thing. I don't know. I really had a good time putting it together and looking at it. And another thing that's not in the book is like all the other sketch covers, like the ones that people ask you to do at shows and stuff like that. Like, there's just no way to capture all of those. Is there a way you can print your own art on a blank sketchbook? I'm sure there is. I would have to know more about what you're like. Have my art like on the cover of a sketchbook that people could buy to do their own sketches in. Is that what you're asking? Ovary eyes, ovum eyes, Evan eyes. If that's what you're asking, then I know that there are ways to do that. I just haven't done that. I'm listening to Jimi Hendrix in my Bluetooth headphones, and the stuff keeps bouncing from ear to ear, and I'm not sure if my headphones are unsyncing because that's a problem with these headphones. Like they fall out of sync quite often. I'm sure it turned out great. I'm traveling, so I'll check it. Does the PNG have a clear background? Is there an editable? All of that is the file types I emailed. Oh, goddamn. No, I know it's called stereo, but if I could describe to you, like when I am listening to other things with these headphones, they will fall out of sync with each other, and one will be like a little bit behind the other one, and then it starts to create like this weird sensation in my ear. I know what stereo is. Nacho, what are you doing? Okay, I thought you were, but I wasn't. I didn't want to. I mean, maybe the dude's just being a weenie. I don't know. So I didn't want to. I didn't want to address it. I was just like, all right, well. So now I think I'm pretty much done with the inking portion of this, right? So now I'm going to come back in here and try to see how much more I can mess it up. Usually when I do this, I'm just trying to cover up the fact that I'm not really confident in my lines, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll color some in, and then maybe that'll take their eyes off of the inadequate line art. But I don't think that's the case with this one. At least with this one, I came into it with the mindset that this is what I was going to do. But like I said, I'm using these Uhuru markers for the first time, and I don't know how they respond exactly. So kind of just feeling it out. All right, we're going to go with the black hands. I made the choice. Or I should say the black gloves. His hands aren't black. Well, I guess he is a black dude, so I guess his hands are black. But I mean, in this case, I'm going with the black gloves. And now I'm only using this one, like these areas that I'm working on now are to represent the black in his costume. But I'm not going to fill them in, obviously. So we're doing this with a MG69. So hopefully we'll find a less. Here's a MG30. So this one is less. You should know not to take me seriously 98% of the time. Yeah, I wish there was some sort of punctuation that everybody agreed to adopt that would say, all right, if you see this, that means the person is joking. Like, so when I type something like, did you do you fuck your mother with that mouth or whatever you say, that way you could put that little whatever that punctuation is, and it would be read with sarcasm as opposed to uh, word for word. And then maybe also that would help stop getting people kicked off of social media for things that are just like said jokingly, and then Facebook says, "Hey, you just said a bad word. You just used some sort of phrase that means this, that, and the other thing." Because I know that happens to people. They're like they'll make a comment in regards to, but the wording using those words has flagged on the social media, and then they get shut down or whatever. And you're like, dude, they didn't even say anything. That was a joke. If you had a Reddit robot, then you would know that that's what was going on. So if we had that punctuation mark for sarcasm, maybe that would happen to less people, is what I'm saying. I mean, people tried it by doing the JK at the end of their sentences, but I guess they got to be too much and people stopped using the JK, and it was just like, oh shit, you're being an asshole. So we're trying to make this stuff look metal. Remember, we're just adding stuff to give make your brain think that it's metal. See, my headphones are out of sync now. It starts to drive me crazy because I want to keep going with, the art that I'm doing, because I'd have to do a whole thing. I'd have to turn off the headphones. I'd have to resync them, turn the Bluetooth back on, and just like, God dang, how much of this vertigo can I listen to before I have to tap out? It feels like I should have done it red, but I think the newer Spawn doesn't use the red. It's just black. And I want it to feel like the newer Spawn. All right. That brings that portion to an end. Come a long way since I first came. Yeah, thank you, man. We were talking to that point earlier about the art book that I put together and how it shows, the different, how it shows the growth of where we've been. Because the art book goes back to 2014, maybe. Just wait, Nacho. I'm not sure if the art book goes to 2014 or 2015. I'm not sure how I want to end the cape up top yet, so I haven't really addressed that. This is a commission. I would have never put this much into just something messing around on my own. I don't like doing sketch covers with this level of, uh, I don't like doing sketch covers at this high end right here. It just, it, it hurts because there's no room for error, or there's very little room for error. And you have to draw all the way to the edge. And it's an uncomfortable way to draw. I don't like doing full on sketch covers. And coming back to a point you made earlier, Tony, well, you're like, well, it looks good. You could probably sell more of them, but I would price these to where it wouldn't, not many people could get these. So I just won't do it. Then we don't have to have that problem. Because with prints, I can do all this hard work that nobody pays for, and I just did it just to do it. And then the prints everybody can afford. I don't know, but my hand has increasingly gotten more unstable over the past couple of years. Like it's just all my lines are wobbly if I hold the brush too long. Or I don't know what the deal is, but coming up with straight lines is pretty, or precision has become more and more of an issue. I hope that's not a sign of anything too stupid. Like I knew that I was going to fill this in like solidly, like not put a whole bunch of hues and Like I knew I had this, this is a watercolor brush pen, and it really lays on uh, a nice vivid red, and it it works evenly. Like it dries pretty even without any kind of like real overlap marks. So that reds, if you look at my commissions, usually red will be there, and it's because I have this and I can quickly just make it do things and have fun with it. So I knew that I was going to do that. All right, let's show the TikTok people real quick before I go to the next step. I don't even know. It looks like there's one person on TikTok. All right, so uh, we have a few little things I want to address before I call it finished. And one of them will be putting these little green eyes in here. They don't really read as green, but they will when I put the little dot in there maybe. And then I want to see about, there's a couple of red things on his suit that I want to, oh shit, this sucks. All right, we'll see if we have enough in this right here. I just wanted this red to stand out from the other red. So that the cape could be its own thing. Now we've lost the corners. You know what? What about, there's not much left in this. So let's just see what, yeah, this isn't going to make much of a difference. So what I'm going to do now is hopefully it's dried enough. Now this always has trouble with the red. Like it just turns into like this pink. But I just want the silhouette to stand out a little bit more. All right, we are one stroke away. One stroke away from being finished. Thank you, Tony. Now there it is. The finished piece. I started drawing comics in 2019. Well, that turned out fun. That was fun, right? Of course, I got to sit here and micromanage things and not just let them exist. All right, I'm done. So let's show it to TikTok people. So this took us an hour and 43 minutes. So thank you, Tony. Thank you to everybody that joined in. So follow me on social media, TikTok people. And thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a great weekend.